It's day 3 here at the StarLadder CIS RMR closed qualifiers, and we still haven't seen Ancient. We've seen the teaser trailer 3 days in a row now, Holker, but we haven't got to see Ancient. Hopefully today is the day. I don't think we'll be seeing it in our first series, and maybe in the second. We'll have to wait and see. But my name's Dinko, joined by Holker for this one. How are you doing, Alex? It's day 3. I can't believe how quickly the days are going, man.
Yeah, it's going quick. We're getting into the top teams in the qualifier now. We're getting into those deciding matchups, the all-important matchups. So I'm excited about that, and I'm really excited about some of the games we have today, to be honest, because I think some of these teams have probably exceeded our expectations, which is always good to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think coming into today, we've got, the last sort of draw for a lot of these guys. I think when you're looking at the teams overall, the teams that went through, we'll take a look at that actually and just kind of recap what has happened so far in the qualifier, because if we take a look at the teams that have actually made their way through to the main event, they aren't the teams we expected, right, coming into this. It's Entropic and Force that have made it through to the main event already. Those two teams should have been doing it. I think now we've got the decider matchups we were kind of expecting as well. There's nothing crazy. It just kind of played out the exact way we wanted it to, Alex, and I'm actually kind of thankful for that, because it means there's nothing mental happening.
Yeah, definitely. But obviously the performance we saw from Nemiga is what really excited us, because they did take Entropic close, and Entropic are one of those teams who we were saying probably wouldn't have to be in the qualifier in a lot of other circumstances. In the future, they might be one of those top 5 teams that don't have to play in the qualifier, because we think they're just that good. So seeing Nemiga come through and compete, really positive sign, and I would love to see them come in today with a statement game.
Well, we're going to take a look and recap Group A. It was a more one-sided group, I would say. You kind of look at the teams you're expecting to move through, and I think that's how it's going to play out, right? Entropic and Nemiga getting themselves their wins in the opening matchups, and then Entropic just about got through that winners bracket final against Nemiga. It was an incredible series that went all 3 maps. The first one was very, very easy for Entropic, but the last 2 maps could have went either way. And Nemiga, unfortunately, put down to the decider matchup. They still got a chance, and they've got to play against Khan. Yesterday, they had elimination matches. They were all carried out over on the B stream, thanks to Cody and Danny for a wonderful job done over the last couple of days. But they are done, and so is Marlian. It's going to be Khan who moves forward to the decider matchup. And Nemiga, like you said, Holker, they should be moving into the main event. But it's going to be interesting to see if Khan can show us anything, because you think maybe it could be a little bit of a sleeper team.
Yeah, I like just some of the stuff that Khan have come into this qualifier with. I think they've come in a bit more prepared than we were expecting, and that's shown in some of the results they've been able to get. Meanwhile, over in Group B, this is that group that is a bit more open maybe for the 2 teams that are going to make it through. We were expecting Forza to come out in first place. They've done exactly that with their win against K23 yesterday. But now we get a rematch of the opening matchup between K23 and 100 Pink Gods. And those two played a pretty close series in that opening matchup. There were even quite a few overtimes in there on one of those maps. So that is definitely another series to keep an eye on. Could be a close one.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the longer game of the day. I think coming into this one, Nemiga should be the team taking victory in our opening matchup, but you can see the 2 games on your screen right now. So just with the 1 stream today, and it's just these 2 matchups. One of the teams will make it to the main event. And we're taking a look at Nemiga, right? They're a team that really should be moving through, obviously, but down in that second matchup, K23, I think they're a team that should be performing a little better than they are. I like the team that they've got together. I think they've got a Dren and Mo in there for the experience. They've also got some of these youngsters, like Norbert was really popping off yesterday on overpass against Force. Just wasn't enough to get them over the line. It doesn't really feel like they've clicked that well together, Alex. But we'll jump into our Nemiga and Khan veto. Ancient immediately banned out by Nemiga, unfortunately. And that could have been a decent map for Khan, so they've got to figure out where they want to go with this one.
Yeah, a bit of a shame for Khan, because they've gone ahead and they've put a bit of time into that Ancient. They clearly had some good level of play on the map, but they're not able to get it to their advantage in the veto. Instead, they just get their choice of all the other maps. And we're going to get the Inferno pick coming in from Nemiga, Vertigo coming in from Khan. That is a map they have tended to go towards when they have the opportunity. And look, they had that tough game against Entropic to open things up with, where it didn't go well for them on Vertigo. But hopefully for their sake, this time around against Nemiga, they can maybe have a bit of a better time.
Yeah, you would definitely like to hope so.
Oh, Mirage is a decider, though.
Yeah, that is interesting. No Dust 2, again, we've kind of seen that go out the window for a lot of the CIS teams in this qualifier so far, not really wanting to go towards that Dust 2. So Mirage is the decider. Nemiga, they looked kind of rough yesterday, didn't they? They did not look good on Mirage.
Yeah, there's two ways you can look at that. You can say, okay, well, Nemiga picked Mirage against Entropic, so they're clearly confident and comfortable on the map. But then you look at the actual result, and maybe it didn't exactly play out that way. I guess hopefully for their sake, it was just a slow start for them, because that was the map where Lollipop only got 3 kills in total. MDS had a couple of nice rounds on it, but I would actually love to get to that Mirage just to see what sort of Nemiga would show up on it.
I'm going to say it's not going to be like yesterday. You know, when you see a team like the Nemiga side, you have Lollipop in that team and he's only getting 3 kills on Mirage, that's not a normal day at the office, especially because they look like a completely different team as they went through the rest of the series, right? And we've seen so many great performances out of this Nemiga roster on Mirage itself. Lollipop can be somewhat of an individual specialist on this one, so 100% I feel like it's just a bad day at the office to open things up on Mirage yesterday, and I think, you know, being a third map would be a completely different story. But question is, Hawker, once again, do you think this is going to go all 3, or do you think Nemiga have got this in 2?
Oh, I think I'll go with Nemiga in 2. I think just when you look at the team, they've been together for longer. Can't have somewhat impressed me just with some of the levels of the individuals. Edward, for example, has been middle of the pack for this team, which I think is a great sign. Having him as a veteran in the squad, he can provide a lot for these younger players. He can definitely be a bit of a leader on this team, but I think Nemiga should have a bit too much for them. We'll wait and see, though. Into the all-important decider game we go. It's starting on Inferno, and it's starting with a B rush.
Well, Topa trying to hold off the attack, and certainly is a B rush. Everybody on board. The classic CIS strategy of the B take in the pistol. The ball can be planted. His balance has pushed his way through and towards Ruins, and look over in behind the boxes. Box comes in. He's the master of the box, and he'll find himself a headshot. All the forwards are drawn back into an equilibrium again. It's Lollipop this time, deadly in the pistol. Edward coming back in as well, finding 2 in this pistol round for his team. He's the only player really keeping them within touching distance. But again, as that time starts to tick on, the lack of kit will become a problem. The kills are coming in, but now Jo left in a 1v1. Up against Lap, who's now pushing down in his position, and Jo decides to take the fight. It's Nemiga with the pistol win. Just one player staying alive, but it is a T-side pistol in the end.
Mostly coming down to pace more than anything in this round in terms of the overall strategy for Nemiga. Wasn't much intricacy in there, wasn't much in terms of specific details, but really just using their strength in numbers and overrunning that B site, which is absolutely a viable option for those pistol rounds. When you know you're not going to be running into loads of nades and loads of mollies, you can go for those fast plays. You can see just how effective they can be. Nemiga go ahead and get off to a good start on Inferno. It's a good start for now, but we all know nowadays in Counter-Strike, these Eagles on the second round are very dangerous.
Definitely so. We've seen so many of those rounds come in already in this tournament, right? We've seen so many of these teams just be so good on the Deagles, you can never really count them out. Yesterday, in Tropic, we're having some ridiculous rounds. And Nemiga felt the sting of those. So you definitely don't want to give anything up to Khan here. Under a minute left in play. Nemiga just kind of figuring out what they're going up against, trying to draw out their utility. We do see a lot of the deep smoke now into Inferno. It seems like every single team's doing that from the CT side, Alex.
Ooh, Topa. Just trying to see if he can fight past the smoke. Yeah, Mac 10 at range. Capacho with a couple of kills on the B-bomb site, but smoke at CT is obscuring the vision of Rage. The bomb will be planted momentarily.
Bomb down. Still a 3v3 though. They've shooted out evenly, but Nemiga with the bomb plant should be winning the round, but Edward has come in with a deagle headshot. Just balance has gone down, and that will be a rifle now available to Edward as well for the retake. Leo will play, and MDS is off final, but Edward is just so quick. Now Jo like in a 1v3, and he's stuck in behind Dark. He's got a lineup of 2 in the cover of the pillar. It might just be enough to win the round. The time is ticking. Edward with no kit, and Jo again saving the day. 6 kills in 2 rounds. He is unstoppable at the beginning, and they need him. He keeps saving them again and again.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of different players showing up for Nemiga throughout this tournament. We've had maps where MDS has been sublime, has been the best player on the server. Jo looking like he's capable of that himself from these first 2 rounds. Doing a good job for the team, winning in these late round scenarios. It has been a bit of a surprise in this tournament for Nemiga that Lollipop and iDisbalance are their 2 lowest rated players. They're only 2 players below a 1 rank 1 average. And the other players who have been showing us what they're capable of. Here in this round though, iDisbalance with the AK who's going to get that early trade. There are a couple of CTs stacked on this B site, but they don't have that much to work with.
Oh, Jail. Go on the back 10, and they're going to try and run it down with Topa. Nearly had a chance for multiple kills there. Luckily goes down quite quickly with the SMG. Get planted out. We're looking for his picks and expand through the smoke. Laugh is coming behind, and he nearly had a chance, but gets taken out. And Edward's on the extremities of the B site, and he's falling back. Nothing he can find here, so might as well just take that deagle. But 3-0 start for Nemiga. It's been a little shaky, it's been a little scrappy at times, but they've got the flawless beginning. Gun round should be coming up very shortly here for Cam, but so far, if you're Nemiga, you don't really think about how you're winning those rounds. It's all about just winning the first 3. They can be such a scrappy, volatile affair the first couple of rounds of a game, and if you can get those under your way on the T side, you can be pretty happy with that.
I think Edward could hear the call of the chickens, Dinko. They were saying, "Run away with me, Edward. We can make a new life. You can be a farmer, living out in the fields."
Well, what's Edward going to do with these chickens, man? First of all, day one, you think Edward's going to be in the mountains, covered in hair with hairy armpits. But you realize he's been manscaping, and now you think he's going to be having children with chickens, Alex. What are your fantasies about?
Hey, I never said that. That was all you.
I'm sorry. I'm throwing you under the bus. He's got his Na'Vi jersey on, so... in this picture, at least.
He does. And he's got his M4A1S, which we know Edward likes to make the most of. Smoke being thrown into Banana early, so you can keep on the right side of it. Those mollies won't cause Edward any issues. There are a lot of smokes on Banana from both teams right now, though. So I don't think we'll see much progress from either side just yet. Once those smokes fade, maybe we'll see some play.
A little bit of a stack over here on the B side at the beginning of the round. Obviously, when you have limited utility, grouping up with 3 players towards B can certainly be a way around that issue. But it looks like Nemiga are going to be going towards the opposite end of the map. 4 players currently walking up middle, looking to pinch her in on the upper bridge, who has just come off the angle. And that does give an opening now for Nemiga to get closer and closer to the A site if they desire. They have a window of opportunity. And that smoke goes out to the left side of brackets. Ridge will be aware of the utility usage and now drops back into the site itself. We'll be playing alongside Laugh over here on this A side, but here go Nemiga back into Banana.
Topa still has a molly here on the CT side, and the time is really low. If Topa times this incendiary well, that could cause all sorts of issues for this push. Oh, it might be a bit soon. I think Nemiga will have time. They're going to have a clean take, though.
Yeah, Edward and Topa towards the back of the site. They should be good alongside the boost as well. Capach is in with a double kill, and they still haven't even checked for Edward. They're not going to be checking with him, but because of the time, and Edward peeks out to deny the bomb plant, and that's the round 1. Just a 3-man stack in the B site. There's just too many players, and with the limited time, they don't have the luxury to clear all of the corners and really take full control of the site. So Edward, with the experience, knows just to hide behind the wall, and he can peek out to deny the bomb plant and just win the round.
That's a great round to show what Edward can bring to this team too. As we were saying earlier, he's not going to be that crazy standout star player like you might have wanted him to be, considering the name value of him, but he's just going to be in a position there where he's really comfortable. He's got all that experience. He's not going to make a mistake. He's not going to succumb to the emotion that some other players might have playing against Nemiga in a big tournament, in a big chance to get qualified. He's just going to play it really patiently and make the exact right play, and just 1 kill is all that's required to win the round. Maybe we've got a faster round on our hands here, though. Nemiga, all stacked in the apps.
Good kill from Edward. He's been all over the shop so far, and another fantastic round out of him. A 2K goes back to 3, but unfortunately, Jayo's quicker on the trigger, and Capacho, luckily, nipping at the heels of the mid-play of iDisbalance. It's a 2v3. Man advantage still siding with the defense, but they've got to make a retake happen because that bomb is about to get planted. Both players playing from inside of the site, though.
Jo wants to change that, making a move towards the smoke. Decides now to go back to the site itself. Khan don't have many nades to work with, but Jayo's about to peek into them. Nice headshot to begin with, but he's got to be scared of the flank, and that means Capacho can come in with a headshot and leave it all on Box.
Yeah, Box now just in the corner on top of a box, in fact. So this is natural calling to play in this position. He's got himself a second opportunity here, and the time is ticking. He's done it as well. He's found all the kills in another round for Nemiga. They can't double up, even though Edward had an initial strong hold. He absolutely shut down that initial A attack, but it just wasn't enough in the end to win the round. They had a man advantage into the retake scenario, but fantastic stuff from Nemiga to be able to pull that one out. It isn't easy, you know, playing retake or a post plan from the site itself, so I think it did a pretty decent job with this. And Box just staying alive, not overextending at any point. Runs the clock down, gets 2 easy kills, and Can over here, they've got pistols out, they've got the deagles out again. They're saving most of their money for the next round, though.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough start here for Khan because I think they have been playing pretty well. I think we've seen that they're coming into this game with ideas, with tricky setups where Edward was able to sit in the back of B and win the round with some decent trades and holds, but so far it hasn't materialized into too many rounds. And in this one, they only have the pistols to work with. Got to give some props to Nemiga, though. Upping the pace in that round paid off for them, and they're going to up the pace again, this time onto B.
Good headshot from Jo. Man advantage in play for Nemiga up against the weaker weapons. Topa realizes the disadvantage in weaponry means he has to be a little more, so plays inside of the smoke and still even gets spotted then. Jo takes him out of play. 5 versus 2, a minute left on the clock. The bomb does start to get planted now. MDS came into this round with just a Tech 9. So he's just saving some money over, realizing we're likely up against the lower tier buy. The best they've got is probably deagles at this point, so feels comfortable just going to that Tech 9. And I think he's a good talking point, Alex. From yesterday's performances, MDS was probably the standout player for me.
Oh, wow. Edward shot the wall and gave away his position, and then almost it worked as a bait in for MDS. But yeah, MDS was really good yesterday. I'm glad we got to see that level of performance from him. Hoping we get to see it here again, because he hasn't had as fast of a start, but he hasn't needed to. It's been the other players on Nemiga shining. Jo is still going strong with 13 kills. It's just nice having this Nemiga team where it seems like different players show up on different days, different maps. It's been working out really nicely for them so far.
That's a confident peek straight out the side of the car, but only the 1 kill. Shooted out quickly by Jo. Utility into Banana, quickly burning away any possible T players of Nemiga. And they've got Banana control for the meantime. But Nemiga are about to take that back. They look to be persistent on their attack. Banana and Lollipop outside of the apartments. Good kill onto Edward. And he's actually been a very influential player so far for the defense, right? He's been getting a lot of multi-kill rounds. Edward in the late rounds has been fantastic, so taking him out of the round this early on, that's certainly helpful for Nemiga, especially now that they have the man advantage and the defense is entirely weakened on the A site. In fact, they're going for the gamble stack over towards B, and Nemiga look like they're going to be running straight into the A site, and that should mean a save call coming in for Cam. They don't really have money left, they can't really risk going for a retake up against 4 players, so probably just a save call coming in now.
Looks like it. And this is what's going to happen to you sometimes on Inferno. If you lose those opening skirmishes, if you lose those opening battles in the round, you're in a really hard spot on the CT side. You never really feel confident when you lose those opening trades on Inferno. It always feels like now you're the ones who are really trying to have to do something to win the round. You can very quickly let it slip. I think Khan have fallen victim to that here in this round. Nemiga should be getting a 6-1 lead. And I don't think Nemiga have had to do anything too crazy, anything too out of the norm. But so far, the rounds they have gone for have been well executed. I think they've been good at just taking some map control to begin with, making it hard for Khan to read them fully in some of these rounds. And they've been mixing in quite a few faster plays too, which have made them unpredictable. So far, so good from Nemiga. They've looked pretty solid here on Inferno, and it is showing in the scoreline.
I'd love to see Rage get involved. You know, currently 006, I believe, so hopefully he can step up a little bit more. I think I was actually quite impressed with him in a lot of matches he used to play for Hard Legion, but I haven't really seen anything from him in this tournament so far. Maybe he was performing better yesterday. We didn't get to see him on the mainstream play that well, so hopefully when he gets that AWP out in his hands, he can do something here in defense, but they haven't really had the money to be able to go for that AWP purchase just yet. And that's going to help Nemiga, right? They're going to have in that front. Here they go. Attacking in the top middle. Good opening kill onto Laugh. And they should start to wrap through short. But Edward, again, he's been sneaky before. This time playing in towards Graveyard. Can he unleash hell from this position? He peeks out. iDispel spots him. Goes down quickly. And again, you're losing all of these opening duels. No trades coming in. And it has to be a save call again, Alex.
Yeah, it's a somewhat similar spot from Edward where he's positioning himself really well. Just this time, he's not able to get that initial kill. And if that first domino falls there for Khan, that round could have really opened up. Because Edward, with that silencer, would have caused a bit of commotion with that initial kill. All of Nemiga would suddenly have to respond. They'd have to quickly call that he's playing in the graveyard position. And you saw that Rage was through the smoke close by. So as everyone was focusing on Edward, he maybe could have sprung into life and got a kill or two of his own. So I would have loved to have seen how that round would have played out if Edward got that kill. It could have really opened things up for more and more trades to come through. But as soon as he misses it, as soon as you miss one kill like that, especially on Inferno, it is just going to cost you so dearly because the T's had so much control of the site. We know how hard those retakes can be. Khan don't even attempt the round win. 7-1 down, but at least Khan saved those guns to try and fight again in this one.
I just always laugh at how small the AWP is on the HUD. I just can't. It's just so tiny. I wonder if that is to scale, obviously. Might be a smaller gun, who knows? Seems to have a short barrel at the back. But Rage on the AWP, this is what I've been waiting to see. Can he do anything with it? And I did say earlier with 006, 005, so apologies. We'll see if he can show up with anything here. He's been pressured in towards the side again. Heavy A hit up short, and it's just too much to handle. All of the kills from Nemiga. Once again, save call coming in from Can. These A executes are just relentless, Alex. They're just absolutely massacring the defense.
And this is something we were maybe most concerned about. If Nemiga do have a bunch of their individuals playing well, then this can absolutely happen to Khan, where the fast pace just gives them no chance to react, no chance to respond. They lose the early fights, and you can't afford to do that here on Inferno. They lose that A site so quickly. It looks to me like Edward is being given a bit of freedom to try and make some reads and position himself in the right sort of spots. And I think Edward has done that so far. There was that round where he stacked 3B and was the man waiting in the back lines. The only round that Khan have been able to win so far. In these other rounds, Edward has been playing on A. And again, he was in a decent position there to try and get some kills. Just couldn't quite land the shots. And the scoreboard right now for Khan does not look pretty. There are 3 players who have only 2 kills between them, Dinko. We need to see that change.
I don't even know if it's just individuals for Nemiga either. I think the utility is very simple, but it's so effective. You see how they just crush the opportunities of Ridge just by good flashes. They just force him further back. Every time he gets flashed, he has to go deeper into the A site, and the deeper he falls back, the amount of positions and the opportunities to get multi-kills just diminishes, right? You can't go ahead and get one kill, then fall back to another position and pick them apart with the AWP. You're then really, the best case scenario there is he gets one kill out of the AWP and then dies very quickly after. And that's not good enough, especially when you're investing so much money in that weapon. So the utility usage for Nemiga has been so good at just sort of suffocating the potential team play over for Can. Their setups just don't work because one of the players is always neutralized by utility. And that's just allowing for these players to have very easy duels against one-on-one players. And it's just so easy for them on this A site right now. Great stuff from Nemiga, keeping it simple, keeping it effective, and here goes the aggression from Capacho, right down on the edge of the smoke, and Banana now Box running through, and they just all die this time. Nemiga getting shut down, finally a little bit of utility coming into play. It's a 4v3 with Can up a player, finally with an advantageous situation.
Capacho stuck around for a long time there in the smoke. I'm surprised he survived for so long, but at least he set up that kill for Topa to give them the advantage you were talking about. Now we'll get to see what Nemiga look like when they're a man down. Currently deploying a couple of smokes, a couple of pieces of utility into this B site. Topa, the only man on the site itself. That flash will slow them down. Important kill found by Topa. Got another smoke for CT, but there's a big gap in it.
Starting to come in, no kills in from Can, and finally that'll change. Ridge comes in with an AWP, finally ringing out for a kill, and Lollipop gets caught in the open, finally around for Can.
That's more like it. Some supportive utility coming through. Rage couldn't get the kill on the cross, but eventually got his first kill of the game on the board with that AWP, which is definitely a positive sign. Initial banana fights here. You see Capacho's just so out in the open. I was surprised he got back. And then Rage coming out with this AWP. Important kill to begin with, forcing the issue and giving Khan their second round. So signs of life from Khan. We need to see more where that came from. And I think we really need to see them continue to do better in those opening fights, right? They got the 4v3 advantage this time. That was a big part as to why they could win this round. Let's see if they can do it again.
He's going to be running straight down. Banana gets caught. It's going to be a Box taking his head right off. When utility starts to respond, Banana position. Box doing some utility over the top of the half wall. Now he wants a piece of the pie. The pie might bite back shot. The pie's a little off, and Jo luckily takes the head off Topa. 5v3 this time. These Banana fights looking pretty good for Nemiga. Finally, one of the kills will go back in favor of Can, but there's still a player down. Rage has to be tested. It's going to be smoked off once again. Utility neutralizing the ops effectiveness, but this time, Box decides to run right through the smoke. Edward waiting inside the side as well. This is not as good as you would like to see from Nemiga, but luckily, Lollipop is still alive, and when he's alive, anything can happen. This bounce, misses the shot, pulls the deagle, still gets the kill, and now into the 1v1. Ridge has taken his teammate out, and Idis balance, good repositioning, over the top of the smoke, gets the final kill. It's 9 rounds for Nemiga, Alex. It's not pretty at all, but the rounds are effective. They're getting them over the line, and Idis balance gets the round.
And we are definitely seeing this Nemiga style where they do want to just stick together on these site pushes a lot of the time, and that means even if it does come close, you're always going to have the chance to have that player like Idis balance there as the last man alive, eventually able to win the 1v1. They brute force their way onto the bomb site, and even if they take casualties in the process, it works out for them. Finally, Rage trying to be a bit more proactive, but he's very unlucky not to get that kill.
Very unlucky indeed, but like you said, finally being a little bit more proactive. I like to see that. You know, at this point, you're 9-2 down. You've just got to start taking risks. You just got to try and disrupt them early because, like you said, Nemiga are going for these late round hits with multiple players playing together, and the fact that they just have so many players alive into the late rounds is not helping Can's causes. So if you can get involved early and pick off a player at the start of the round, get that early advantage, that will certainly help you in the late rounds here where Nemiga have really been playing off of having a lot of these players alive towards the end. And here comes the B hit. Multiple players charging down the defense. It's not really like they have the best weapons to defend here either, Alex. They don't have much utility. MP9's in play. We'll see if they can hold on.
Hacho's already been
wow.
dealt with. Sopa tries to go on the edge of the smoke, but he gets shut down. And at this point, Khan are probably going to try and keep their guns, which they have been okay at doing so far. They've had a few rounds where they've been able to save and keep a buy into the next. But we're getting so late into the game now that I just wonder whether Nemiga will try and hunt down some of these CTs.
Yeah, at this point, just taking every weapon away and also just padding those stats a little bit because you're feeling so confident. You could definitely get away with that, but Nemiga, full discipline. Not going for them. And luckily for Cam, that does give them a little bit of mercy, actually, to play with weapons going into the next one. It's 10 rounds for Nemiga. The best case scenario for Khan still remains 5 rounds. If they can post those, then the half is decent enough. But that is pretty unlikely considering how inconsistent the CT side has looked. And it was a strong start from Edward, but for the most part, it's been a pretty quiet performance out of most of the players here from Khan. And you can't really be having that up against a team like Nemiga. Did he just stick his finger in his fist, Alex? I've seen the high five fist bump, and then I've seen the... But I've never seen the finger into the fist bump. Now that is something new. I remember you did a fist bump video, Alex. Maybe we need to break that one down. Try to roll it back.
Yeah, man. I always like seeing new fist bump strats. shows some good creativity.
We need some secret handshakes.
Exactly. Well, Rage has got this AWP in the right position towards CT, although it's quite likely this will get smoked off before he gets the chance to pull the trigger. 3 CT stacked on B, though. It's another round where Khan have enough players on the right side of the map. They have a decent idea as to what Nemiga might be doing. Capacho's even trying to play up close. Rage counters with a molly. That should slow things down.
Yeah, holding things back and behind the molly. Nemiga being pretty hard to stop in towards Banana. You've even seen the amount of different variations Khan have tried to throw out there, but when you're in this scenario where you don't have money, you don't have utility to take Banana. And Inferno is a map you can't really get away with not having utility on. Look out, they have such little utility left already that Nemiga just going to try and abuse some of that. Finally, a few more pieces getting used up, and at this point, there's nothing really to write home about. They've got one smoke flash, little flashes, one HE, and Lollipop cracking open a skull as well as giving them an advantage over to Nemiga. But there's only 30 seconds left, so the A play certainly is going to be the call, and there's no one holding here. Laugh has gone up into the apartments. Rage trying to hold off this long attack, luckily getting one, but Laugh is really the player who's going to see step up here, and he could do that because they're losing players. They've decided to go the long way around. They get the headshot, suddenly a 2v2, bomb just about getting planted. There's a short player coming in here from the CT side, and one out Library, and J.O.'s found the Library player. Now Capacho, player into the clutch, and he cannot find MDS. 11-2 on the board. Nemiga, not the cleanest round again, but they get it over the line just by having so many players in that area.
And they're just continuing to stick with this squad-like play style, making sure they're always close together, making sure they always have the ability to run down these positions. You can see, even though they lose the 2 initial fights, they are eventually able to force the trades. And then once it gets into the post plant, they are able to get it. And they're in pretty good positions to get it. So nice work from Nemiga. Here comes some aggression, but Balance ready for it. Lands the initial shot, looks for more, but Topa's coming back at them. Here comes Lollipop, though, flanking out the push down mid and leaving it all on Capacho.
And he has got a decent position here. He's in between them. Now, if they go towards the B side, he will have to walk after them up Banana. But if he catches them one by one here, Capacho may just have a chance. The underpass head pops up, and there's no chance you're winning natural. That is so quick from Box. Brilliant headshot. 12 rounds now for Nemiga. They want that spot in the RMR. And to be fair to them, they definitely deserve it. The performance yesterday, if that wasn't enough to make you think they deserve it, well, this certainly is.
Yeah, and both these teams have had that chance to play against Entropic, but I think it's fair to say, while both teams lost, they lost in very different fashions. Khan got demolished by Entropic in that opening game. There were some close rounds in there, but it was a very one-sided 2-0, whereas Nemiga were able to take a map off Entropic. The third map decided was very close, so that just goes to show the amount that Nemiga probably are favored coming into this one. Smoke going down from the CTs. Yet again, they've got 3 players stacked on B. Not sure if Nemiga will be committing to this B site immediately, though.
(12-2). Best case scenario, 12-3 half here for them. We'll see if they can get that third round on the board. Wrapped up on the boost, spotting play in the site. Has taken Fox out of play first, but oh no, the Molotov burning away. Luckily, Rage is still alive, and they might not expect the extra player here. He will get one. It's swiftly upgraded with the AK, but the balance is quicker than the trigger. Once again, up on top of the boost. There's 2 kills for MDS. The headshot onto Laugh and the drop down onto Capacho. 13-2 half coming in for Nemiga. What a fantastic performance out of Jo up there. 20-6. And you know, MDS hasn't really had to do a whole lot, but he was a player yesterday. You mentioned Hawkeye. You know, he can have these performances every now and then where he just pops off. I think another player that kind of is similar to that is Jo, right? He just has these moments where he looks like the best player on the team some days. So this is one of those games where he's just really having a good time.
Definitely been showing up in this one. I think he got 13 kills pretty early in the game, but he's continued to just add a couple more to his tally as the half goes on, which is always important. You've got to keep up, even if you are top of your team. That allows him to end the half at 20 frags in total. Might not be able to do the same in the second half, though, because Nemiga may make this second half a very short one. If they were able to win this pistol, this game, or at least this map, could be over incredibly quickly.
Yeah, this could be one of the quickest games of the tournament so far. Smoke down in towards Coffins. Fox held in behind it, now pushing forward to the edge of the smoke. Common position to spot a CT, but unable to get a kill. And Jo, oh, just waiting for it, but Laugh comes around the corner. And a headshot picked up, so that's the first kill into play here for Khan into the pistol. They're going to be walking out into the A side that's completely empty. In fact, there is a mid player walking down from the CTs. They have to hold on for a second because they realize, wait, the bomb's A? That makes no sense.
There are even going to be fights happening on the B site, weirdly,
no.
but they're not even that important because Khan are winning them, and there are only 2 CTs left. Nice shot from Pacho. Everyone else should get back towards the bomb in time, and eventually they do indeed close out the pistol. Weird round, but Khan find the gap. They find themselves a free plant onto A, and frankly, they were winning all the fights anyway, so I think whatever happened there, they were likely going to have a really good chance at winning the round.
Yeah, Nemiga definitely got a little bit confident in terms of those rotates, so they had to push down middle straight away, and that opens up that chance for Khan. So here comes the AKs straight away. They've got 4 AKs in play, Alex. Not a whole lot of utility, but this is a lot invested. They lose this round, and it's quite worrying because then you give AKs over to Nemiga. So very important round here for Khan to win. Don't want to be dropping any of these AKs at all, but that's a lot of damage done. 3 HP left, 2 on Topa now.
Oh, and Box can smell the blood in the water. Was thinking about going for the finishing blow, but decides to go back to the bomb site. Still 3 smokes remaining for Nemiga, but they're not going to be able to use them too wisely. As Khan are already pushing into their site, and it is a flurry of frags for Khan. All the kills coming into B, even though Nemiga had a decent stack there. That is going to be a comfortable Khan round in the end, which you wouldn't have expected after all that damage early.
No, definitely not. It's kind of incredible, actually, that there isn't a death on the board for Khan. I thought for sure a couple of those rifles are about to go down, but really, you got to count your blessings right there that you've managed to come out of that without losing a player. I love the little painting on the wall there, Alex. Might have to get myself one of those. CSGO theme, but also it's got a little bit of artistic vibes to it.
I wonder, is that an actual painting, or is that like something one of the devs has made, or I wonder how they picked it out, you know?
I wonder, you know, I don't know. I would say that would be pretty cool if a dev had made it, but it would be pretty boring if they just picked it out, wouldn't it?
That's probably more likely. I doubt they made some really nice painting
Oh
all
man,
by
that would be so
themselves.
cool though. That would be pretty cool. Maybe
Would
that
be.
could be my job in the future, Alex, when I retire. I start working for Valve, making paintings for CS:GO maps. I'll do that.
Yeah. Sounds like a fun
Bob Ross
job.
style, maybe.
Exactly.
Pretty little trees.
We got the Zeus out for Idis Balance in the apartments. These rounds are always annoying when you're on the T side, when you know your opponents have the low buy, because you actually don't really want to go in the apartments, because you feel like there could be a Zeus around any corner. And kind of just decided, you know what, screw the apartments, we're walking up long, and that is the right read right now. They're making no noise in the process too, so Nemiga are going to be clueless.
Solid execute here from Khan as well, just clearing all the pesky positions, but Idis Balance's Zeus might just be a little too pesky. Learned to predict it because out with the USP, and he tries to get a kill, but unable to really get anything from it. Instead, it's MBS who's come in with his P250, finally down to Capacho, and Lollipop is left. MP9 on the outskirts. He starts to come back in. He could find an exit or two here.
Not meant to be. Rage denies him, and Rage has rebounded quite nicely in terms of his kill count in this game. Up to 9 and 10 now after being 0 and 6 to start things off. It's a weird game in terms of the scoreline because a couple of the Calm players are doing okay on the KD side of things, but you have to remember there were so many rounds where they just saved or they were not even able to play the round themselves. That's why the kills look a little more even than the scoreline. It is Nemiga who are very far in the lead right now, and they've got a gun round to try and extend that lead even further.
Well, at this point, Khan is told that he's taking round by round, and hopefully you can pull his squad line back piece by piece, but this is not the worst scenario to be involved in. Trading out equally onto the A side. It is a 2v2. That means the rotation's going to have to come in here from Nemiga. And they're going to have to play retake on this A bomb side, so they will have a little bit of time to get that bomb planted. And they have a player in the pit, so having a pit player in a post plant like this really sets you up quite well for success. It's difficult to flush him out, especially if you don't have utility, but luckily Jo has found himself incendiary. He's got a smoke in play too and a flashbang, so they do have some utility to make this work. With the time starting to tick, they needed that kill, and Idis Balance just finds the pit player easily. Now Topa's left alone. 2 players to find, one out long, one short, and Topa, his first victim, can he get the second? He cannot pick it up. Jo's quicker on the trigger. He's found himself the headshot. Goes back to the bomb though, and there's no kit, which means no time, and the round is going to go in favor of Can. Jo done everything he could. He had everything available apart from the kit, Alex.
That's a shame for Nemiga, but Khan will take it. They'll take whatever the hell they can get right now because they just need rounds. As for Nemiga, pretty solid trades into top mid. I think all in all, you don't mind that round too much because you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, in the future, if we can keep rounds close like that, we are going to win some of those late round scenarios eventually. We almost won that late net round scenario if we'd have had the kit on Jo, so not the end of the world for them, but for Khan, I'm glad that they're getting a few more rounds here. Up to 6 on the board, showing us that they can remain competitive. The AWP saved by Jo is the main weapon to watch out for, but oh wow, Topa denies it early. I guess it's going to be Box's turn to try and have a go with the AWP, but he's got to be careful he doesn't suffer the same fate.
Oh. Box. For the quiet committee has brought there. He's done well, and he gets it behind the smoke as well, but unfortunately couldn't get the shot off. I just balance somehow lands the body shot on the fadeaway with the deagle. And MDS is going to try and come over to the B site in time to be that help, that rotation, but I just balance. He's going to be the player with it all to do on the B site hold here, and he's not get anything out of it. So falls in behind the coffin smoke. He's so close, and he gets the kill right through the smoke. Laugh will fall, and I disbalance. He's done a lot in the round so far. He needs a little bit more as he moves his way through. He tries to deny the plan. He's got him off the bomb, and the kill comes in from MDS, but finally, I disbalance is taken out of play. Now 2v2 with 35 seconds left. Still no bomb plant here for Khan. They've got to figure out how they do that. How they do it safely on the B site is another question, because it's going to be very difficult to find a way of getting that bomb down without being peeked. And they're hoping that Nemiga go for a peek. Hope that they give away a life here. And the timing on the peek is perfect. Rage was watching for that. But as soon as he looks away, the peek from Lollipop comes around the corner, and Capacho smokes off CT. Goes for the bomb plant, but Nemiga now have the advantage. 2v1 as they come back into the site. Capacho from the back, the headshot is good. He cannot get the second though. And Lollipop quick to get the kill, this time with plenty of time for the defuse. And what a job done there by iDisbalance, just to delay the plant, get that one kill, and just stop the players from getting onto the bomb. And that's given enough time for the retake.
Yeah, Nemiga just constantly going in and out of those smokes. They're able to effectively recycle the AWP 3 times onto 3 separate players, being really annoying as they go through the smoke and then back to cover, jumping into the smoke to make it hard to hit them. They were just such a nuisance that entire round. You could see that Khan were never comfortable getting that bomb planted. Finally, at the end there, Capacho locks it in, but he's in a 1v2 and he's trapped towards the site. So the time was always going to be hard to play. He had to just go for the frags, and that didn't work out for him. Nemiga 14-6 up, and Khan could be on their last legs here if they were to lose this round.
We call this the last stand by here from Khan. They lose this one, they crumble. But if they win the round, another step in the right direction, potentially making the scoreline a little bit more respectable here on Inferno. If you are just tuning in, this is the map pick of Nemiga. Up next will be Vertigo. That's going to be Khan's map pick. Currently looking like they'll be going into their map pick, a map down in the series. Here comes the jump out towards the pit. A couple of players now from Khan trying to get closer to this A site. Lollipop's been able to draw blood first, but it's fitted out by Laugh. iDisbalance, man of the hour in the previous round. Drop down one. Rage quickly on the headshot. Edwards somehow getting a kill onto the box player. And that is somehow a round that is looking good here for Khan. All of the important headshots just land, and Nemiga have to run away.
Almost feels like Khan were somewhat taking a page out of Nemiga's book in this round, where they rush it into the A site. They just make sure they're close enough together that they have the chance for trades, have the chance for kills. Didn't really need to be trades on a lot of them, though, because they were just landing good shots. As you said, Edward with a really nice kill. Now it's Nemiga's turn to play the save game, which is a game we see a lot on Inferno.
Look at that. That is just destruction right there. That'd be more the artwork I would want on my wall right there, Alex. A little photograph of that. Edward with a different camera angle today. We're getting a full view of his office area. Nice look haircut, looking fresh here. 1980s camera here. There we go. Right back into the action. But I have to say, Alex, you know, when we take a look so far at that kill in particular, that is incredible. But a lot of the round success and T-side from both of these teams has just been very basic scrimming, right? Just straight in, getting these headshots. If Khan can keep it that simple, if they can create some sort of consistency with that effectiveness, then that can definitely get them a few more rounds here. Good nade damage coming in from Nemiga.
Yeah, that's something that could be a difference between these two teams. You would expect Nemiga to have the nade protocols more nailed down than Khan. I don't think we saw many rounds where Khan really got a lot of utility damage early, but for Nemiga, they can put both nades in a similar position. Black is down to 22 health before he even gets a chance to do anything in the round. that utility damage on Inferno is always a factor you've got to keep an eye on. Smoke put down by Nemiga, just to make sure they don't get overrun by Khan, but the T's have left the bomb towards spawn, so this looks likely to be a slower round.
Looks like a B execute just going to come in towards the end here. Good utility usage coming in for Nemiga as well. That molly should slow things down and actually buy some time if a rotation did want to come in, but they've already got 3 players over here to begin with. So Nemiga think that's going to be enough to hold and might get a rotation shortly once they realize how many members are coming into the B site. Luckily box in towards new box. Plan starts to come through, rotation now starting to come over from the A side, but all the kills have come in for Nemiga. Every single kill in fact is theirs. Finally Topa stepping up with blood drawn to the T side. There has to be Capacho. Capacho's got one, nearly gets back for the second, but not enough damage done to get the round. And that's going to be Nemiga up to map point here at Inferno. Their map pick is looking strong for them. Just one more, they'll find themselves victory here.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea from Khan in this round. Instead of going for a more standard execute, they try and go for this lurk smoke and plant in it. The problem is, you're always going to get spammed in that smoke. So I think if Khan want to do that, they have to have those players pushing up to the site to be able to run down those CTs that are going to start spamming that smoke. Because you can basically guarantee the CTs are going to start spraying Edward down there as he plants the bomb. You just need to have those other Ts ready to push forwards, ready to trade the kills at least. And I just think Khan were a little bit slow on that. They were a little bit stuck in that sort of barbecue position where you don't really have a chance to do a massive amount of work from there. So not an awful idea from Khan, but unfortunately they were slowed down a bit. The Sting got taken out of the push. And Edward is even out of a drink. Oh no. What a disaster.
Someone needs to get Edward one of those refillable cups, man. Got a feel for Edward here. Dehydrating on the server. That is a very colorful keyboard. Look at that, Alex.
You know, I also love that this guy, he has a mic. I appreciate that so much because the headset mics are terrible a lot of the time. He's a real streamer.
You know, he's got the streamer life going on, but the headset mics are terrible. Alex, I will agree with you on that one. Yo, I just balanced. Looking to run down in the middle. I will say though, the region that has the most amount of microphones has to be the North American region, dude. Like, a lot of those guys have the full-on streamer setups. I feel like in Europe, everybody's a real gamer, so they don't actually have the microphones.
It's because the Americans were always playing COD, you know, getting the Blue Yeti, recording some clips.
FaZe Clan, looking to try and 360 those scope people.
Exactly.
Lightest balance coming in with the opening kill of his sniper, keeping it simple, keeping it effective, and that's what we like to see here on the server. The kill here into the defense, it looks like it is going to be done very shortly. Just Rage and Topa left alive. Now walking to J up. Have a pretty hot start to the game, and Topa hotter here. He's got himself a double. Box picking up the scraps, getting the trade out, but Rage is now left in a 1v3. It's not an unwinnable 1v3 here for him. He has got the bomb in his back, and one of the players is extremely low. The B side's actually completely empty. He doesn't know that, and quickly it will be filled up by Lollipop. But Rage actually has chances here to turn these into 1v1s. But quite quickly. MBS in towards Library, wins out the duel, and there we go. It's going to be victory for Nemiga on Inferno, Alex, and I have to say it was a very impressive performance for Nemiga. They have to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, really can't complain about that performance. Like we were saying, nothing too flashy, nothing too fancy, but at the end of the day, a lot of the best teams in the world don't do anything too flashy or fancy. They just use their aim, use their players, and make sure that the trading and the spacing is on point. And if you could have those fundamentals down, you can go a long, long way.
Yeah, you definitely can, and Nemiga have certainly shown that they are a team worthy of making it through to the main event. We'll see if they can do it in the next map, Alex. I mean, heading into the second Vertigo, I do feel like Nemiga just kind of outclassed Khan, but there were a few rounds there that I was starting to get a little bit more hope for them. Do you see any chance here on Vertigo for a third map?
It could come through, I think, just because at least Khan have shown us that ability to pick this map in the past. But overall, look, Nemiga should be too good for them. I think we've seen that here. I've got to assume it's going to be a 2-0.
Well, we've got to find out. We've got to go to a short break first, and then we'll be right back with the second map of this series. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. Come back after the break.